Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nene. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here, welcome back. If you click this video, I know you're looking for a podcast to listen to. The past couple of years, I've been trying to start listening to podcasts because I'm trying to cut out music in my life. I'm still on that journey. Here are some podcasts I'm going to suggest to you guys. These are some of my favorite podcasts that I listen to. So yeah guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. So guys, the first podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the Slay Girl Slay podcast. This podcast is a podcast made by Ashley. I don't want to fumble the name, but I'm just going to insert the name right here. So this podcast is about motivating and inspiring women, and the podcast is really good. Like, she talks about a lot of things and it's like just really good. That is the first podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys. The second podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the How Did We Get Here podcast. I started listening to this podcast during this Ramadan. It's just so good. It's about 4 Muslim girls. They give their views, different views on certain topics. They talk about different things. Their podcast is so good. It is one of my favorite podcasts. The third podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the Cousin Connection podcast. It is among one of my favorite podcasts as well. It's about 2 cousins, Amir and Sarah Ali. I don't know if you know Aisha Harun. She's a YouTuber here. Amir is her brother and Sarah Ali is her cousin. Their podcast is about different topics as well. It's usually kind of funny. It is entertaining and also educating at the same time. The fourth one I'm going to recommend to you guys is the TED Talk. If you don't know TED Talk, I'm sorry, maybe you're living under a rock, but TED Talk is basically a podcast about almost every topic that people across the world just come and talk about different things. It is very educative. I would recommend you guys to get on it. The fifth podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the Persistence podcast. This podcast, I listen to this podcast when I'm working out, so it's like a motivational workout podcast. But if you're also looking for a motivational podcast, as this is also a good podcast for you to listen to. The sixth podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the Norman Ali Khan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's an Islamic podcast. You can listen to him preach. The next one is under that category is Umar Suleiman. He also advises and gives sermon. The next podcast I'm going to recommend to you guys is the I Said What I Said podcast. The podcast it's about 2 Nigerian ladies. They just also talk about different things like the struggles of being in Nigeria. I listened to their podcast last year and it's good. It's like so good. The next podcast is Let's Talk Nigeria with Nefe. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. This podcast is about a guy that talks about the issues we have in Nigeria. He just talks about things happening in Nigeria and his views on it. And his podcast is also good. I just listened to one, so I can't say that everything is good, but the one that I listened to, it's good. It's about ASU and the podcast is good, so check it out. And yeah guys, so guys, those are the podcast recommendations and some of my favorite podcasts that you can listen to. If you also have a favorite podcast, please comment it down below so that I can check it out, because I'm on a journey to look for interesting and educating podcasts. So if you reach the end of this video, make sure you comment down below on what you want to see next, and comment down below on what you think about this video. Please like this video, it helps me a lot, like you guys don't understand, and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you do that. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Bye guys, peace.